O Mother Nui, stretch high above this valley. Your starry body is our glory. Then see the hawk of yonder Rahur quit, his fiery splendor, oh so mighty. He brings a light for all our weary souls. He makes the broken spirit whole.
Okay, so let's unpack this. I mean, imagine someone just drops a fully disassembled jet engine right in the middle of your living room.
Oh, wow. Yeah, just thousands of incomprehensible parts.
Right, thousands of parts. And they just point at it and say, here, fly this. And honestly, that is exactly what staring at Aleister Crowley's ceremonial magic has felt like for the past century.
It really has. I mean, he obsessively documented the grand rituals, but the glaring hole in the religion of Thelema has always been the daily grind.
Exactly. Like, how do you actually practice your true will on a random Tuesday morning? But our mission for today's deep dive is looking at a brand new book released today, May 8, 2026.
Yes, The Holy Year of Thelema by Mabius Lin.
Right. And we're looking at how this text takes that dense, intimidating occult world and, basically turns it into a totally accessible psychological toolkit for you, the modern learner. It finally provides that missing assembly manual.
And it is a manual that the modern esoteric community desperately needs, because to understand why this calendar is so groundbreaking, we kind of have to look at what Crowley actually left out.
Yeah, let's go back to 1904. He's in Cairo, and he supposedly receives the Book of the Law from an entity named Awas.
Right, which establishes Thelema. And the whole core philosophy there is true will. Discovering your soul's authentic trajectory once you strip away all the ego.
But it's sort of like finding your ultimate cosmic career path. Right.
Huh.
Only he never made a daily ritual calendar for it. And I have to push back on that. Like, did he just forget?
Well,
because a guy who systemized every single breath of a ritual, leaving out a daily schedule, that feels, I don't know, intentional. Like he was avoiding the religious dogma he hated.
Oh, it was definitely an intentional choice. I mean, Crowley was terrified of creating blind orthodoxy. He wanted people to take responsibility for their own daily work. But what's fascinating here is how Lin points out a distinctly modern problem with that. When you hand a 21st century practitioner a completely blank page, they don't usually innovate.
It just frees up.
Exactly. You get complete psychological paralysis. So Lin fills this historical vacuum, providing actual structure so people aren't just staring at a blank page.
Because, I mean, finding your true will isn't just picking a path and coasting. You need some kind of structure. But here's where it gets really interesting to me. How do you actually practice this high magic without, joining some secret society?
Well, Lin introduces this brilliant 3-tier scalability system.
Okay, break that down for us.
Sure. So tier 1 is sparks of inspiration, doing something tiny, like just briefly saying will before a meal. Then tier 2 is medium effort altar work using tarot.
And tier 3 is the grand stuff, right?
Yeah, the grand group rituals. But if we look at that first tier...
Wait, really? Just saying a few words before dinner? How does a micro habit actually do anything profound?
Because it interrupts your subconscious autopilot. By forcing that tiny pause, you're injecting conscious friction into a purely habitual action.
Oh, I see. So if you string enough of those micro habits together, you're essentially performing profound cosmic alignment in a cramped, modern apartment.
You are. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it reflects a massive sociological shift. For over a century, the assumption was that high magic required a highly secretive, hierarchical lodge.
Yeah, mostly wealthy guys in private clubs.
Exactly. But Lin is validating the self-taught living room practitioner, proving that you don't need grand lodge architecture to do the psychological work.
Which is huge. It completely democratizes who gets to claim ownership of the practice. This isn't just about where you practice, right? It's about correcting who actually built the religion in the first place.
This is such an important part of the book. It centers marginalized women, specifically Crowley's wife, Rose Edith Kelly.
Right, because her clairvoyant visions were actually the catalyst for the whole religion, which is so typical of history, just reducing women to mere footnotes or passive muses.
Yeah, the narrative of Western esotericism has been overwhelmingly male.
So how does celebrating Rose actually change the paradigm for diverse modern practitioners?
This raises an important question about historical gatekeeping, because proving Thelema was deeply collaborative from day one validates female, queer, and non-binary practitioners today. It shows their presence isn't an intrusion, it's the foundational legacy.
So what does this all mean for you listening right now?
Yeah.
I think it shows that even the most complex, arcane systems can be decoded into practical psychological tools for self-discovery.
Absolutely. It takes that disassembled jet engine, shows you how the parts connect, and lets you actually start the engine.
Which leaves us with this final thought. If mapping a year to historical and astrological milestones can strip away societal conditioning to reveal your true will, well, what mundane, unexamined daily rhythms in your own life might be secretly shaping or obstructing your ultimate path?